I started with 2 wafer tin lids and a bundle of holiday berries from Dollar Tree. I started snipping them off so that I could get a nice amount to fill the tin so it really looked like it was a pie tin full of cherries. I think that'll be enough because I'm gonna roll my clay out and put strips on top to look like the top of a pie. I'm gonna take these out and put some hot glue to secure them in place. Pieces of the clay did start to crumble, so I tried my best to kind of squeeze them together and smooth them over with my fingers and try to do a crisscross pattern so it really looked like the top of a pie. And some portions of this video are missing because I was having some technical problems. This clay does take 24 hours to dry, sometimes 48 depending on the thickness of the project that you've created. So I'm just going to set this aside and move on to my next project, which is a faux ice cream sandwich. And I'm just using some pieces of the foam core board and pulling the paper off so that I can paint the foam with a chocolate-like color. And I like the way the pieces looked for the ice cream sandwich, so I decided to cut another piece of foam in order to make a faux chocolate bar. And here I'm attempting to cut out some pieces to make it look like there is a bite on the top. I couldn't find my craft knife at the moment, so that's why I'm just using the scissors to kind of cut through to make it look like teeth marks. And then I used the same brown oxide paint for the chocolate bar. And while those pieces dried, I wanted to get started on a cup of chocolate mousse using spackle and some of the brown tempera paint that I found at Dollar Tree, as well as some of these small little cups that came 12 in a pack. And so here I'm just trying to scoop out enough of the spackle to mix with the tempera to get a really a thick mousse-like substance in the cup, and the color really looked like a chocolate mousse or a pudding. So I was really hoping that this would turn out well, because this really was an experiment. I've never used the color mixed with the spackle before, and it actually turned out looking really nice. Now that everything was fully mixed, I wanted a filler to put down into the cup that I could put some faux whipped cream on top to really make it stand out and look like a really nice, delicious looking dessert. So I just used paper wrapped with some masking tape to stick down in the center of my faux mousse. I left the mixture to dry overnight, and then I grabbed a tube of caulking so that I could attach it to the top so that it looked like a nice big dollop of whipped cream was on the top. Once my whipped cream is finished, I wanted to paint over a faux pomegranate to look like a cherry to add to the top. All right, I painted it darker to look more like a cherry. Okay, now I'm gonna add some spackle and a little caulk inside here. This is gonna be my ice cream sandwich. This is my candy bar with the bite taken out of it. And I found my craft knife set, so I may go back in and try to make this look like a bigger chomp. But I'm gonna add some lines to make it look like the separations for a chocolate bar. And I use a darker color, this chocolate sprinkle. And for this second wafer cap, I'm gonna fill this with spackle, and then when it dries, I'm gonna paint it so that it looks like a mini sweet potato pie. And while the spackle was drying for that, I moved on to making my faux layer cake out of foam. I took my craft knife and I wanted to cut a piece that looked like a slice was taken out of a layer cake. And so I just wanted to kind of slice through both layers so that it would be even. For the outside of the cake, I'm going to use this lavender sachet color, which is really pretty. Not necessarily a traditional Christmas color, but I think it's so pretty and it would look nice as a little mini cake. And like I did with the faux mousse, I'm going to mix spackle with some paint so that I can create a thick mixture that looks like frosting to put on the top of this cake. And once I got the consistency I was looking for, I just spread it right on top and did like a swirly pattern so that it really looked like frosting. Okay, this marshmallow finally dried from the Dollar Tree air dry clay. I want to paint it just like this one with the melted chocolate on top, and I'm going to use just the apple barrel white, and I'm going to use this brown oxide instead of the chocolate sprinkle to kind of drizzle it over the top. Okay, so this is hardened. I want to mix a bit of this Crafter Square Orange with a little brown to see if I can get a nice color that looks like a sweet potato pie. Okay, all of this is dry and I like the way that's looking. It looks like real frosting on top. And I want to paint this portion, the layers. I'm gonna do that chocolate, and I think that'll be a nice contrast to have the chocolate layers with the lavender frosting. Once the brown paint was dry, I added hot glue to join my layers together, and then I added white puff paint as the cream in between the layers. I don't have the video of all the finishing touches, but here's a look at all of the projects finished. And I've used a piece of the portion from the cake that I cut out to make a slice of pie, and everything looks delicious.